Good evening, everyone. Today we will be talking about reproductive health. We'll go to the NCERT text and we'll correlate with what I have to speak on that. So here the NCERT is giving a statement that the programs called family planning were initiated in 1951 and they were periodically assessed over the past decades. Improved programs covering wider reproduction related areas are currently in operation under the popular name Reproductive and Child Healthcare Programs. Okay? Just make a note of it. You can underline that part. So, you got my point? Just make a note. Okay, when was the family programs, planning programs initiated, and what is the name of that scheme that they have mentioned? So here we like to address a problem that we are facing as a country, and that is what population explosion, as we have studied in school also, right? There has been geometrical rise in our population, and some of the reasons that we have mentioned for the rise in population include reduced death rate in the newborn and the mothers because the improvement in the child and the mother healthcare facilities, the mortality rate, the death rate of a newborn as well as the mothers has drastically come down. Okay, so the number of people who are alive have increased over years. छोटे छोटे reasons की वजह से death नहीं होते हैं जो पहले हुआ करते थे, right बच्चों? पहले तो अगर RH factor का भी incompatibility हुआ तो वो भी fatal हुआ करता था। Blood transfusions possible नहीं थे, वो सब हम लोगों ने overcome कर लिया। Then early marriages, okay, desire for a male child, which is very prevalent in the Indian society. Okay, everybody wants to have a boy. I don't know for what, but they want a boy. Okay. Then there is a religious orthodoxy against family planning. Okay, some of them, their religious beliefs do not allow them to use contraceptives. Okay, as a result of which they are against family planning. Then there is increased agricultural production. What is this increased agricultural production related to? How is it resulted into population explosion? Bachcho? When there is prosperity, the theory is when there is prosperity, खुशहाली है, तो वो दिखती है. But the people are happy, they're content, so they are not having fear of having more children. They know we have money, we have food, we can feed people. What my point? That is how it goes. Lack of social awareness. Lack of social awareness in the sense that कि कोई लोग को पता ही नहीं कि आगे चल के क्या डिफिकल्टीज फेस हो सकती है अगर बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं तो ऐसा, ठीक है? Nowadays the argument goes both ways. Advanced postnatal care, मतलब बच्चों की देखभाल वगैरह भी अच्छी होती है तो जल्दी infant mortality बहुत ही कम हो चुकी है. Increased sanitation and life amenities have increased the lifespan. So these are all some of the reasons which are causing what we call population explosion. Okay, and if you look at the population as manpower, we can use it positively also. Increasing population, it is one of the powers that our country has. एक resource है वो अपने पास, लेकिन वो अच्छे से utilize होना चाहिए. Problem utilization है. I was on. तो हाँ बैटरी ले लो, कहाँ है मुझे बैटरी, मतलब वो इसके अंदर मुझे चल रहा है बदल. So what are the different methods? Kids, what are the different methods that we can employ for, for what? For family planning. Okay, that we don't want a child. So what are the different methods that we can use? Okay, in simple English it is called use of contraceptives है, बराबर है? तो यहाँ पे हमको बेबी नहीं चाहिए, तो क्या क्या किया जा सकता है in order to avoid the birth of a child? Okay, if you get some marks, I want to say something, but it would be just below the belt, so I'm leaving it there only. Okay, that would be too crude on my part. So, where were you? You're talking about what? Natural methods. What are the natural methods based on? They're based on the principle of avoiding the chances of ovum and the sperm meeting with each other. दोनों का fertilization ही हम क्या करने वाले हैं? Prevent करने वाले हैं. Okay. Second last bench is you. Please stand up. Can you share it with me? Yeah. Please. Now, the first one is what, Uchlo? The safe method, which is also called as what? The rhythm method. I think so. We had discussed this a little bit when we spoke about the viability of the ovum. कि how many days the ovum is alive. इसके बारे में बताया ना आप लोगों को मैंने. So ये safe method क्या है चलो कि ये वो time है कि if there is sexual intercourse, the chances of pregnancy are minimum. If there is sexual intercourse during these days, the chances of pregnancy are minimum. That is what you mean by what? Safe period or the rhythm method. And that is 1 week before and a week after menstrual bleeding is considered the safe period for sexual intercourse. Okay? 1 week before and a week after menstrual bleeding. So, if the menstrual bleeding is from 1st to the 5th of that particular month, okay, then when menses is taking place, sexual intercourse is not to be done. Keep that in mind. Got my point? You should not engage in sexual activity with your partner during the days of menses. Understood? Then, 1 week after this, so that would be Rajvardhan from the 6th to which day? 1 week? 6th to the 7th day? 13th day maybe, yeah? I said 12th or the 13th day. Okay? And then on the 14th day there is going to be what, Uchlo? Ovulation. Right? So let's avoid the 13th day. Let's go with the 12th day. Okay? And when is the menses going to start? On the 28th day. So go 1 week before it. That is the 21st to the 28th day. So 21st up to the 28th day and 6th to the 12th day, I would consider it to be what, Uchilo? Safe. Do you agree with me on this point? If the partner is engaged in sexual activity between 6th to the 12th day, ovulation has not occurred. Still it is in its proliferation and folliculogenesis. बराबर है? इसका मतलब प्रेग्नेंट होने के चांसेस बहुत ही कम, और यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी द ओवम इज डेड. सही कि नहीं? हाँ, सही तो है वहां पे, लेकिन सही है कि नहीं है? सही है ना? कैसे सही है चलो? यहाँ पे ओवम डेड है तो 21st to 28th डे में ओवुलेशन नहीं है, फर्टिलाइजेशन के चांस भी क्या एकदम कम है. So this will be considered as what? Safe periods. What do you mean by safe period? That period where you can have sexual intercourse without the contraceptives, without the fear of being pregnant. So can I say ये जो middle वाला period था, that is from the 13th to the वो बीच वाली जो week है, that would be the best period to have coitus if you desire a child. Got my point? Practically, the gynecologist usually would suggest sexual activity for a couple seeking a child after every couple or 3 days through the entire month to increase the chances of fertilization. I have got my point. And this is the most important time if you desire a child. So ये जो method है, इसको हम क्या method बोलेंगे बच्चों? Safe period, or it is also called as the bachalo what? The rhythm method. Got my point? And you should avoid having sexual intercourse in these days if you don't want a child. I hope my idea is clear, bachalo. If you don't want a child, you should abstain from having sex. Abstain मतलब छोड़ देना. Abstain from having sexual activity between these days. When there is ovulation, a couple of days before and a couple of days later. That is called periodic abstinence. क्या कहते हैं उसको चलो? Periodic abstinence. Is everybody clear with this point? All of you? Okay. But does this guarantee success? No. Or we would not have become 1 billion strong, or a batch of 60 students now. What is my point? This does not guarantee absolute success. That is why, because it's not a machine, right? The ovulation can occur thoda jaldi, thoda late. Another ovary can also ovulate. कुछ भी हो सकता है. So it doesn't guarantee that pregnancy नहीं हो. I hope you got it, bachalo? Yes or no? 80% can be success. 20% can be what? Failure. Yes. The third method, which has been practiced since historical times, is coitus interruptus. क्या कहते हैं उसको? Coitus interruptus. And I have told you what is coitus. Coitus means sexual intercourse. Interruptus मतलब the male withdraws out the penis before ejaculation. So coitus, sexual intercourse, has been interrupted. That is called what? Coitus interruptus. This is the oldest method of birth control, in which the male partner withdraws his penis from the vagina just before ejaculation so as to avoid insemination. You got my point? And that is called as what? Coitus interruptus. Is it a natural method? Yes. Where you prevent the fertilization of the ovum. The fourth one, that is lactational amenorrhea. Who remembers in the class lactational amenorrhea? Okay. Kasif, you also remember? Tell me.
It is period of time where mothers vigorously breastfeed her child.
As a result of which?
Menses do not occur.
And ovulation is not taking place. So if there is no menses, मतलब amenorrhea हो रहा है, and the cause for the amenorrhea is lactation. So that is called as lactational amenorrhea. Good. You remember that when I taught you endocrine system? I think so. We had mentioned that. That condition is called what? Lactational amenorrhea. So all this comes under what, Uchilo? The natural methods. Now you remember the natural methods? Yes or no? What is the rhythm period? Should you have sexual intercourse during the days of ovulation, or you should avoid it? Avoid. And you get then what are the safe periods? 1 week prior and 1 week after the bleeding days. Agreed with me? And abstinence, not having sexual activity during the days of ovulation. Got my point? Then there is coitus interruptus, withdrawal of the penis before ejaculation, and lactational amenorrhea. Okay, these all come under what? The natural methods. Okay. Did my class follow everybody? Yes? Okay. Then we talk about which methods, guys? The barrier methods. Are you there, everybody? Now, what is included in this barrier methods? We physically prevent, okay, the sperm from meeting with the ovum. We physically prevent the union of the sperm and ovum by using some mechanical or chemical barriers. अड़थड़ा, don't allow them to meet. बराबर है? तो जैसे कि बच्चों, as you must have heard in school also, okay, one of the popular means of barrier methods is the use of condoms. Okay, which is a condom is a rubber or a latex sheath that is used in order to cover the penis in the male or vagina and cervix in the females. Okay, so nowadays you have femidoms also. Okay, those are the female condoms available. Okay, not much popular in India, but they are available. Okay, now they are to be worn. The popular ones are the male condoms. Okay, it's basically a latex or a rubber sheath which is worn over the erect penis before sexual activity or before coitus. Okay, so when the ejaculation will take place, the male will ejaculate in the female reproductive system or inside this latex sheath. Inside the latex sheath, and the semen will get collected in that rather than going into the reproductive tract. That is why we are calling it as a barrier method. The semen will get collected in the latex sheath rather in the female reproductive tract. And use of condoms comes with other multiple advantages also. I have got my point. Number one, and the most important is it prevents the sexually transmitted infections. That's very important. It prevents the risk of getting sexually transmitted infections. ये सुना ना आप लोगों ने sexually transmitted infections? जैसे कि HIV है, syphilis है, gonorrhea है, हाँ? WRTS warts. These are the symptoms of these diseases that we have mentioned. Genital warts and all. Okay. दूसरा एडवांटेज क्या है मतलब कुछ लोग it can be used in privacy. It can be used in what? Privacy. You understand privacy, na? Okay. Because you don't require a medical practitioner. आपको डॉक्टर वगैरह के पास जाने का जरूरत नहीं है उसको इंसर्ट करने के लिए. आदमी अपनी प्राइवेट लाइफ में उसको यूज कर सकता है और इजीली डिस्पोज ऑफ भी कर सकता है विदाउट his family knowing about it. Got my point? So that is one of the advantages that it gives what? Privacy. Okay? It should never be thrown in the drains. It's not there in the syllabus, but as a teacher I need to tell you. It should never be thrown. People in India have this common habit. They flush it out through the drains. Drains, you understand? Na? What do you call that? Flush. They flush it out. And why I am not saying it should be done is it will clog, it will cause blockage in the drainage system. It is rubber, it is latex, it is non-biodegradable. It will remain there for millions of years. Neither is to be disposed of openly out of the buildings. Got my point? It should be wrapped and thrown into the dustbins where it can be disposed of properly. Do you agree with me, Uchalo? Okay. Then, any questions hereby? Got my point, everyone? Yes or no? Then, just listen to the statement I am going through. Huh? Just listen. Don't need to read. Hey, don't be like a monkey and the cat. Condoms are barriers made of thin rubbery latex sheet that are used to cover the penis in the male or vagina and cervix in the female just before coitus so that the ejaculated semen would not enter into the female reproductive tract. This can prevent conception, that is, pregnancy will be prevented. Nirod is a popular brand of condom for the male. Okay, the cheap version of condoms. Okay, what is it called? Nirod. Nirod is the popular brand of condom for the male. Use of condom has additional benefit and it protects us from sexually transmitted infection and AIDS. It can be self-inserted and thereby it gives privacy to the users and it can be easily disposed. As on the baat kara pura. What was my point? And one NGO told me that Sangli is the HIV capital of our state. You got my point? There's a big red light area here. Okay? Red light area, you know what is a red light area, right? Okay? And there are a lot of HIV infected people. Okay? And use of condoms is very effective in preventing HIV and its spread. Always remember that. Okay? That what is an unprotected sex? As you are grown ups now, I am discussing it with you. What do you mean by unprotected sex? It is to have sexual intercourse with multiple partners whose sexual history is unknown. Whose sexual history is unknown. Without the use of contraceptives. Got my point? So if I am engaging in a sexual activity with a person without a contraceptive and I don't know the sexual history of the partner, maybe that partner has got multiple partners. I am committed to that partner, but that partner has got multiple partners. I am exposing myself to the risk of HIV. Al-Laksha? Maybe as a female, I am committed to a particular male, but that male is promiscuous. Okay? And he is engaging himself in sexual activity with many people without the use of contraceptives. So what am I exposing to? I am exposing to the HIV infection because of him, even though I am having one partner. Did you get my point? Yes. The second thing was that is the use of what? Diaphragms, cervical caps, and warts. Okay? ये एक अलग category है. जो once again it is made up of what, बच्चों? It is made up of rubber that are inserted into the female reproductive tract and they cover the cervix during coitus. Okay? So these are foldable rubber caps. They have to be inserted into the vagina and they will cover the mouth of the cervix. You remember uterus? Everybody remember the uterus? The dome shaped part was the fundus. Then we had a body. Then we had a cervix. Cervix had an external OS. And then we had the vagina. So if you insert this cap, it will cover the external os. So whenever ejaculation will take place, what will happen, kids? Yes. The semen containing the sperms will not be able to swim up to the fallopian tubes. Hello, they prevent the conception by blocking the entry of sperms through the cervix. These must be kept fitted for at least 6 hours after sexual intercourse. They have to be placed, they cannot be removed. They have to be placed inside the female for at least 6 hours after sexual intercourse. They are reusable. Okay? They are the counterparts of condoms in the female. But still, why do you find that the condoms are more popular over the diaphragms? Ease of use, no? Ease of use. Condoms gives a lot of ease of use. Okay, after the sexual activity, just dispose it off. Got my point? Here you can reuse it, but then still you're supposed to keep it for at least how much? 6 hours. Don't you think it's a little bit of inconvenience over here? That is why more, and they are much cheaper. Condoms are much cheaper as compared to the diaphragm, cervical caps, and what. So that factor also comes in here. Price factor comes. Got my point? There was a time in Mumbai where they used to give 1 rupee ka disposable Nirods outside the public toilets in the uh, the low income areas of Mumbai, like in the Jhoppadpattis and all, they have a common toilet which okay, and वहाँ पे वो लोग disposable निरोध vending machine install किए थे कुछ साल पहले. Okay, I don't know whether it's still there or not, but तभी ऐसा था कि if you put 1 rupee, you'll get that cheap condom, वो जो निरोध था. I haven't searched it ऐसा because maybe the well-off people, the little bit educated people, okay, they end up going to the chemist shop and buying the condoms, right? मतलब, but ये जो नीचे का जो तबका होता है, थोड़ा poorer section of the society है, उनका accessibility वहाँ पे बहुत ही कम है, and they may end up engaging in risky sexual behavior. So we, as a society, we need to prevent the spread of diseases there. Got my point? That is why the government had undertaken that measure over there. Understand? Okay. Another target group is the young crowd, the college-going students and all that. Okay, where the use has to be popularized in order to prevent even teen pregnancies. Okay, which over here is becoming slightly a problem in India now. It has become an epidemic in countries like UK. Okay, not much in our country, but slowly it is gaining pace. Then, what do you know? Spermicidal cream, jellies, and foams. Okay, these are certain creams that are to be applied in the vagina, which kill the sperms. Got my point? So many a time they are used in combination with the condoms. They are used in combination with the diaphragms. That along with the diaphragms, these spermicidal jellies are applied in order to increase the efficiency of the contraceptive. Okay, so along with using the diaphragm, a spermicidal foam or a spermicidal jelly also is to be applied in the vagina that will increase the chances of killing the sperms and prevent fertilization. Understand, sir, want to something? Okay, next. Okay. Now, that was about the different which method? Barrier methods. Before that, we spoke about natural methods. Okay. Now, also we have barrier methods. अभी तक जो barrier methods थे बच्चों, they were all used at the individual level. मतलब you did not have to go to a nurse or you did not have to go to a medical practitioner in order to insert them. Is it bachlo? Yes or no? But now I'm going to talk about IUDs, which are called as what? Intrauterine devices, IUDs, which are inserted by the doctors or expert nurses in the uterus through the vagina. IUDs are ideal contraceptives for females. Got my point? Now, what's an IUD? Have you seen an IUD, Bachela? Seen an IUD? Okay. Then open up page number 60 of your NCERT text, and you will see a picture of a condom, and below that you will see a picture of a copper T, CUT. Okay, you saw that? Copper T क्यों बोला देखा उसको? Okay, so इसको इस तरीके से insert करते हैं. ये समझो हमारा सर्विक्स वाला पार्ट था ना, ये वाला इस तरीके से इंसर्ट करेंगे बच्चों लोग ऐसे यहाँ पे ब्लॉक कर दिया. देखा माउथ को क्या कर दिया? ब्लॉक कर दिया. स्ट्रिंग. Okay, so after ejaculation the sperm will not be able to reach them. That's an intrauterine device. It needs to be fitted by a medical practitioner. Okay, that is either by a nurse or by a doctor. तो उसमें there are different types now. These intrauterine devices presently available as non-medicated IUDs. एक type कौन सा है चलो? Non-medicated IUDs. Okay, which includes the spiral, ring bound, shield, Lippi's loop, ये सब उसके types हैं. And there is a copper releasing IOD. हाँ, you should learn it. वो जो paragraph उसमें काफी बार MCQs आता है. See, over years I've seen that there are more questions asked from reproductive health, from ecosystem, biodiversity and conservation, because these are some of the pertinent issues that face our nation. What am I point? So in order to keep the young students aware of them, always if I compare, more questions are asked from reproductive health rather than actual reproduction in humans. Keep that in mind. Go do some analysis of the papers. You'll see that ज़्यादा question ये chapter में से आते हैं. आया बात समझ में? तो ये सारे examples के साथ हमको learn करना पड़ता है. Copper releasing IODs like copper T, Cu7, multi-load 375, and there are certain hormone releasing IODs also, like progesterone, LNG20, etc. Okay, क्या नाम उसका? Progesterone, LNG20, ठीक है? So we will refer our text there that the copper ions released suppress the sperm motility and the fertilizing capacity of the sperms. I'll just read that paragraph, which is very important. Another effective and popular method is the use of intrauterine devices. These devices are inserted by doctors or expert nurses in the uterus to the vagina. These IUDs are presently available as the non-medicated IUDs. Example is Lippi's loop. Copper releasing IUDs like CUT, Cu7, multi-load 375, and the hormone releasing IUDs like progesterone and LG20. Underline all of them. Very, very important. Just see the number of MCQs that have been asked over a few years on this paragraph. IUDs increase the phagocytosis of sperms within the uterus. कैसे ना बच्चों? Because the IUD itself is a foreign body. So always near the vaginal area there are going to be more number of white blood cells. समझा मेरे बात? And what will happen बच्चों? They'll kill the sperm. And one more advantage we get with the copper releasing IUDs is that the copper ions release suppress the sperm motility and the fertilizing capacity of the sperms. The hormone releasing IUDs in addition make the uterus unsuitable for implantation and the cervix hostile to the sperms. IUDs are ideal contraceptives for female who want to delay pregnancy or space the children. So some IUDs they come with like 1.5 साल के लिए, कोई come with 2.5 years का life or 3 years का life. But when the gynecologist will insert, she'll say that you can keep this IUD for another 1.5 years. Okay? If there is any bleeding between the periods, do come and visit. Okay? If there is foul smelling bleeding, do come and visit. Or else after every 3 months come and visit to see whether the IUD is in its proper place or not. Because during sexual activity, maybe the IUD can get displaced. Got my point? समझ लगा इधर ये the IUD जे असते त्याचे एक span असते. It can be for 1.5 years, it can be for 3 years. Okay? It is from good reproductive health that a female should visit a gynecologist after 3 months to check the position of the IUD. If there is a foul smelling bleeding other than the menses, okay, you should always visit the gynecologist. Got it? If there is excess bleeding, you should visit the gynecologist. That is how it should be done. I hope you got my point, guys? Yeah. Now, the drawbacks of the IUD could include sometimes there could be spontaneous expulsion कि IUD निकल गई वहां से, या कभी-कभी उसने यूट्रस के लाइन को हार्म कर दिया जिसकी वजह से ब्लीडिंग हो रहा है, या फिर कभी-कभी इन्फेक्शन भी हो सकता है. So sometimes bodies of some females don't support the use of IUDs. Got my point? Because it can be a minor irritant because of foreign object inside the uterus. Got it? Yeah, thanks. Right, kids? Have you heard of oral contraceptives? No? चलो जस्ट रिकैप इतना जो पढ़ा है मैंने जरा गो थ्रू कर देना इसको नोट कर देना. Now, what does this come under? This come under what? Oral contraceptives. Okay? ये बॉयज आपको नहीं खाना. वरना बोले सर ने इतना पढ़ा है लेकिन इफेक्टिव नहीं हो रहा है तो तुमको नहीं खाना. मतलब मेरे बात वरना 21 डेज तक खाते रहेगा बोला अरे तो सबसे पहले कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी रखिए कि इट इज टू बी यूज्ड बाय होम फीमेल्स. अगर सर what do these pills contain, बच्चों? What are these birth control pills? Like you mentioned, na? You saw an ad of Prega News, okay, which is a oral contraceptive pill. Okay, I'll just give you a general idea, not of a particular specific pill only. Chalo. Like it can be a packet of say 21 pills, or it can be a packet of say 28 pills. Huh? I'm giving a hypothetical situation. Hypothetical situation. म्हणजे तुमको समझाने के लिए मैंने एक सिचुएशन बना दी कि एक पैकेट है उस पर 28 गोलियां हैं. ओके, डे 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 ऐसा नंबरिंग है. इसमें समझा 1 2 3 4 से 28 नंबर्स हैं. अलग सर. And a female has had her menses. ब्लीडिंग के डेज कंप्लीट हो चुके हैं. इसका मतलब क्या हो गया कि लास्ट वाला मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल क्या हो गया खत्म और नया मेंस्ट्रुअल साइकिल क्या हो गया जस्ट स्टार्ट. नाउ शी विल स्टार्ट टेकिंग दोस पिल्स डे 1 का पिल. एंड दीस पिल्स से फॉर एग्जांपल इट हैज द हार्मोन प्रोजेस्टेरोन. ओके, सो एज शी विल कीप ऑन टेकिंग दोस पिल्स 1 day 2 day 3 day 4 day 5 day 5, what will happen? The levels of progesterone in her blood will be high. So don't you think a negative feedback will go on the pituitary gland? And the pituitary gland will produce FSH or it will not produce FSH? Not produce. Barabar ki nahi? As it will not produce FSH, will folliculogenesis take place or not? No. Correct? So will the female ovulate? No. बरोबर की नहीं? कारण she is taking those pills continuous 1 2 3 4 5 6 till 21 days. And for all these days the levels of progesterone in the blood are high. So feedback goes on her brain, pituitary gland, hypothalamus. If the levels of progesterone are high, FSH secrete करने का जरूरत नहीं है. Let us maintain pregnancy, and there is no pregnancy in this case. We are just tricking our brain chemically. So will a new ovum be produced? Will ovulation take place? No. So if there is sexual activity, will the female become pregnant? No. आगे लगता है. अब मैंने बोला था 28 days की पिल है. अब जो next 7 days है, वो सिर्फ प्लेसिबो है, मतलब उसके अंदर कोई दवाई नहीं है. आया बात समझ में? तो या तो 21 डेज के बाद हम लोग मैंने पिल लेना बंद कर दिया, या तो वो पिल्स ले रहा हूं जिसके अंदर कोई दवाई नहीं है. तो फिर क्या होगा बच्चों? पोजिशनल लेवल्स क्या होंगे? कम. और जो एंडोमेट्रियल थोड़ा बहुत बिल्डअप हुआ था वो क्या होगा? ब्रेक होगा एंड मेंसेस विल स्टार्ट. आई होप यू गॉट माय पॉइंट. सो विल द फीमेल हैव हर मेंसेस? Yes. When she'll stop taking those pills, or when she'll take those placebo pills, जिसके अंदर मेडिसिन नहीं. तो अगर वो 21 डे का पैक रहेगा, तो जब वो 21 डे वाली पिल खत्म हो जाएगी, उसके बाद क्या होगा? मेंसेस स्टार्ट हो जाएगी. Have you got my point? So will this female have her menses? Will she have her periods? Yes. But when? After she stops taking those pills. Other examples are what? Now kids. But use of these pills over a long period of time is not good for the health of the female. Okay? It's not mentioned in the text, but I'll make you aware of it. Because you're playing with those hormones. What my point? So many times, you know what happens? कि एक हाथ ना ग्राफियन फॉलिकल का डेवलपमेंट हो ही जाता है, वो रप्चर नहीं होता, तो पूरे ओवरीज पे सिस्ट वगैरह फॉर्म होता है. It can cause tenderness in the breast, okay, redness, fever, sometimes this can also happen. Okay, so long-term use of such medicines should be avoided. Okay, especially in countries like India, these medicines are given to females for religious reasons also. Got my point? Like I have known people who give it to their daughters or wives in order to prevent the menses if there is an important religious function in the family. What my point? They don't want her to have her period, so they'll recommend okay, ये month आप दिखा लीजिए अपना वो जो भी religious ceremony के days है वो टाइम पे आपको menses नहीं है. What my point? और अगर कोई फैमिली बहुत ज्यादा रिलीजियस होगी और बार बार वो सब कर रही है, तो आप सोचिए कि एक फीमेल है, उसका अभी तक सेक्सुअल लाइफ स्टार्ट भी नहीं हुआ है और उसके पहले से उसने ये सब मेडिसिन खाना क्या कर दिया, स्टार्ट कर दिया. तो ये मुझे नहीं लगता उसके हेल्थ के लिए सही है, ये मेरा पर्सनल ओपिनियन है. आया बात समझ आप सबको? सो द बर्थ कंट्रोल पिल्स sometimes have side effects like nausea, breast tenderness, weight gain, and breakthrough bleeding. That is bleeding between the menses. Okay. Some of them will be very aware. Weight gain, अरे बाकी सब तो चलेगा लेकिन ये weight gain नहीं होना चाहिए. हाँ, आजकल लोग इतना conscious हो गया है. Okay. Now, there is another thing also, like they use implantables nowadays. You know implantables? Like under the skin, they implant those small. I think so. The inside is given the what all those implants. Yeah. Okay. See the small matchsticks like things. See those implants? Okay. So this can be implanted, Bachalo. Okay. Underneath the skin, it will keep on releasing those hormones and it will prevent ovulation. Okay. They prevent pregnancy for 3 to 4 years. Okay. And it is used by many countries. Like, okay. एक और बात था चलो यहाँ पे आपको मैं एक काम देता हूँ, आज घर पे जाके आप स्टडी करना है इसको, मुझे बताना. सहेली, not your friend, सहेली. It is a new oral contraceptive pill for the females and it is a non-steroidal preparation. It is a once a week pill with very few side effects and high contraceptive value. Will you do a little bit of research and tell me why it is only once a week pill? Can you tell it to me tomorrow? Sachi mein, huh? Just tell me how it is once in a week pill. Okay? Now, you must have seen those ads for iPill also. आपने देखा iPill की ads? नहीं देखा? iPill जिसको वो लोग कैसे मार्केट करते हैं, किसी ने नहीं देखा iPill के ads? Have they stopped giving those ads? Emergency contraceptive pills बोलते हैं या after night pill. क्या कहते हैं? क्या होता है उसको? After night pill. कि गलती से a couple does not want to have a child, but they did not use a contraceptive and they had sexual intercourse. Now to do what? I have got my point. So then if there is sexual activity and now they don't want a child the other day, morning they suddenly realize, oh, what now? So for that we have emergency contraceptive pills like iPills. Okay? They work at multiple levels. And one of the most common level is they will prevent implantation. They will prevent what which implantation. Okay. So it's called as a contraceptive pill. If a pill will work after implantation, you will call it as which pill? Abortion pill, not a contraceptive pill. So IPIL is considered to be a emergency contraceptive pills, and they could be used to avoid possible pregnancy due to rape or a casual unprotected intercourse. A casual unprotected intercourse, but then when you don't want a child, you can go for a emergency contraceptive pill, which is called as an I pill. Huh? So am I very well? Yeah, you see? Huh. These are like you can say almost permanent methods. In school they must have taught this, right, Vishnu? What is it? Surgical methods. Sterilization. That is one is vasectomy and the other is tubectomy. Have you heard of vasectomy and tubectomy? Vasectomy in common language, colloquial terms, we call it as nasbandi. Who is this nas? Who is bandi? The nas is vasdeva. इसको हमने कर दिया बंदी बंद केली नस कौन है ती नस वासा अलग सर so you know the vas deferens which carries the sperm to the ejaculatory duct. Let us cut it and ligate it. Cut it and tie it. So will the man ejaculate? Yes, he will. Why will he not ejaculate? The man will ejaculate. ये सेमाइनल वेसिकल है ना, प्रोस्टेट ग्लैंड है, काउपो ग्लैंड है, तो इजैकुलेट करेगा कि नहीं करेगा? आया ना? But will that ejaculation have any sperms? No. Okay, so does a man who has undergone vasectomy show normal ejaculation? Yes. But the ejaculate will not have any sperms. What is that tubectomy? You remember the oviducts, the fallopian tubes? We cut and ligate it. That is called as what, Vachilo? Tubectomy. Got it? Now, will the female have menses in this case? Yes. The uterine lining and all, सब कुछ होगा ना बराबर से बच्चों. But then, will there be any fertilization? नहीं, क्योंकि आपने क्या किया उसको? कट करके ligate किया, तो sperm और ovum का मिलन होगा ही नहीं. Okay. What is more common in India, popular in India, vasectomy or tubectomy? Tubectomy. Okay. Why? Because majority of the men think that after undergoing vasectomy, it will also affect their masculinity. You understand the masculinity? They think that it will also affect their masculinity. So more popular is what? Tubectomy. Okay. That is why once upon a time, I don't see the offer still there or not. Okay, if you go to the government hospitals, the government used to pay the male for undergoing tubectomy. Around vasectomy. Okay. Around 3,000 rupees. Okay, so how much could I earn today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can take you to GMC. I have few students there. No, I can become rich tonight. Okay. We'll divide 50-50. 50% money you keep, what's the problem? No? That is why it's not so popular. Okay? I hope you got my point, Vishnu. Now. Yeah, Joshi. Yeah. Please. Now. The intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term is called what, Vachilo? Medical termination of pregnancy, or it is called as what? Induced abortion. Okay? Here there is an important paragraph that we will go through together. The Medical Termination of Pregnancy Amendment Act 2017 was enacted by the government of India with the intention of reducing the incidence of illegal abortion and consequent maternal mortality and morbidity. Problem क्या होता था कि when the female used to become pregnant and then she did not want to become pregnant, okay, it could be a teen pregnancy or something like that. Got my point? They used to rush to quacks. Who are quacks? The quack. They are not real doctors. They are quack. Okay? Fakes. Okay? तो वो लोग ये सब ट्राई करते थे. अल्टीमेटली एक्सेसिव ब्लीडिंग से क्या होता था? इट वुड कॉज द डेथ ऑफ द फीमेल. तो उसको स्टैंडर्डाइज करने के लिए चलो according to this act a pregnancy may be terminated on certain considered grounds within the first 12 weeks of pregnancy on the opinion of one registered medical practitioner. कब बच्चों one medical practitioner कब है? when the abortion is to be done within the 12 weeks. Underline this point. Put a box पर है box पर क्या पढ़े वाला होते हैं आप बताओ. I am reading this box page number 62. Hey Gonzalez. What? Okay. No. You got my point? You got the paragraph, everybody? So, if it is within the first 12 weeks of pregnancy, कितना मेडिकल प्रैक्टिशनर डॉक्टर्स को ओपिनियन देना है अपने को? 8. आया बात समझ में? अब आगे देखते हैं. If the pregnancy has lasted more than 12 weeks but fewer than 24 weeks, 2 registered medical practitioners must be of the opinion formed in good faith that the required ground exists. ये अमेंडमेंट है. अमेंडमेंट मतलब कोई एक्ट में जब चेंज आती है उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? अमेंडमेंट. तो फिर अमेंडमेंट ये किया कि अगर प्रेगनेंसी 12 वीक से ज्यादा और 24 वीक से कम है तो एक डॉक्टर जैसे डॉक्टर जोशी है उसका ओपिनियन है कि ये प्रेगनेंसी को टर्मिनेट कर दिया जाए क्योंकि ये फीटस का सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम ब्रेन और स्पाइनल कॉर्ड बराबर से डेवलप नहीं हुआ है तो हो सकता है आगे चल के बच्चा एब्नॉर्मल होगा मेंटली. और एक रीजन है कि इसका मदर का बर्थ के टाइम पे भी कुछ हेल्थ का इश्यूज हो सकता है. ये जोशी का ओपिनियन. ओके, उसने वही केस मेरे पास फॉरवर्ड किया. अब मेरा भी ओपिनियन वही है. तो 2 मेडिकल प्रैक्टिशनर्स आर ऑन द सेम opinion on the same ground which is formed in good faith to save the life of the mother and to protect an abnormal child from coming into the world. ऐसा इसको बोलते हैं इसका लैंग्वेज. You got my point? या फिर फीटस का ग्रोथ ही नहीं हो रहा है आगे रुक गया है. ओके, तो हम लोग दोनों कॉमन ओपिनियन पे आ गए. कितना प्रैक्टिशनर लगेगा लेकिन अपने को भी 2. ये अमेंडमेंट हुआ. समझा? पहले एक से ही काम चल जाता. The grounds for such termination of pregnancy are, see the 2 grounds कि कौन से बेसिस पे हम लोग इसको अबॉर्ट कर सकते. पहला, the continuation of the pregnancy would involve a risk to the life of the pregnant woman or grave injury, physical or mental health, or there is a very high risk, substantial risk that if the child were born, it would suffer from such physical or mental abnormalities as to be seriously handicapped. बराबर है? आया बात समझ में? तो अगर दोनों डॉक्टर को ऐसा लगता है कि बेबी क्या होगा? सीवियरली हैंडीकैप होगा तो 24 वीक्स के पहले वो लोग उसको क्या कर सकते हो? चलो अबॉर्ट कर सकते हैं. तुझे नीचे ले लो उसको कर down wait up अरे down ठीक है ऐसे down now see guys, when do you say that the couple is infertile? What the NCERT is saying is, when do you say that the couple is infertile? कब ऐसा कहा जाता है? See the last line. They are unable to produce children despite of unprotected sexual cohabitation for almost 2 years. मतलब they are practicing sexual activity almost for a couple of years without the use of any contraceptive condoms वगैरह, फिर भी उनको बेबी नहीं हुआ है. समझा मेरा बात? मतलब if there is a husband and a wife having sexual activity for 2 years regularly, hoping for a child, but still they are not having one, then we say that they are having what Ujlo? Infertility. Got it? It could be because of many physical, congenital diseases, drugs, immunological or even psychological. Okay? And in India, who is commonly blamed? Female is commonly blamed. Okay? So, medically there is a lot of help available nowadays. Okay? In the form of ARTs. What is ARTs, Ujlo? The assisted reproductive technologies. Okay, they can be used to overcome infertility. We can put them into two broad categories also. One is in vitro fertilization and the other is in vivo. You understand the meaning of in vitro and in vivo? समझ में आता है meaning in vivo in vitro का? हाँ? What is in vitro in vivo? Yes, Rajvardhan. Say what happened? Okay? Do it. Okay. In vivo का मतलब होता है when a process occurs naturally at its natural place, it's called as in vivo. When the same process occurs artificially with human intervention, it is called as in vitro. तो अगर एक टाइगर का स्पीशीज एंडेंजर्ड हो रहा है तो हम लोगों ने टाइगर को उठा के एक जूलॉजिकल पार्क में रखा, तो हम लोगों ने उसको कैसा कंजर्व किया? इन विवो की इन विट्रो? इन विट्रो भाई, उसका नेचुरल प्लेस है पार्क. अगर उसको टाइगर को सेव करने के लिए मैंने उस पूरी एरिया को वाइल्ड लाइफ सैंक्चुअरी डिक्लेयर कर दिया, तो अभी मैंने कैसे प्रोटेक्ट किया उसको? इन. आप लोगों ने रिप्रोडक्शन प्लांट्स भी पढ़ा है, मालूम है पोलन ग्रेन जर्मिनेट होता है, किसके ऊपर जर्मिनेट होता है बताइए? ये जर्मिनेशन कैसा है? इन विवो. लेकिन वही पोलन ग्रेन को अगर मैं टेस्ट ट्यूब में शुगर के सिरप में कर दूं तो उसको क्या बोलेगा? जैसे लिविंग वर्ल्ड में अपना एक स्टेटमेंट है मेटाबॉलिक रिएक्शंस इन विट्रो वाला आया है. तो if the fertilization is taking place outside the body of the female in the lab, what do you call it? In vitro. फिर वो एम्ब्रियो होगा फॉर्म और उसको जब हम लोग इम्प्लांट करेंगे उसी मदर के अंदर या एक सरोगेट मदर के अंदर, उसी मदर के अंदर भी कर सकते हैं या एक सरोगेट. You know what is a surrogate mother ना? The one who will give her womb for 9 months is called as a surrogate mother. तो हम इसको क्या बोलेंगे? टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी, इन विट्रो फर्टिलाइजेशन. अलग सर भाई जब स्कूल में था तो मेरे को टेस्ट ट्यूब बेबी क्या लगता था वैसा आप लोग लगता था ऐसा स्कूल में? ऐसा नहीं होता. सो फर्टिलाइजेशन कहाँ होता है? लैब में. एम्ब्रियो फॉर्मेशन कहाँ पे होता है? लैब में. लेकिन उसके बाद उसको क्या करना पड़ता है बच्चों लोग? इम्प्लांट करना पड़ता है या तो उसी मदर में या तो एक सरोगेट। तो in that you have types. Zip. क्या है?
Zip.
Zip. That is wait. See what is the full form of zip there? Zygote intrafallopian transfers. Okay. Where up to 8 blastomeres. You remember blastomeres? They are transferred in the fallopian tube of the same mother or the surrogate. मतलब fertilization कहाँ होता है? Test tube में. Up to 8 blastomeres कहाँ form होते हैं? Test tube. फिर उसके बाद उसको कहाँ ट्रांसफर किया जाता है? fallopian tube. किसके? या तो same mother या तो फिर surrogate. तो उसको क्या बोलते हैं? ZIF. याद रहेगा? Zygote intrafallopian transfer. बराबर है? दो चीजें यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट है। एक अप टू विच स्टेज 8 ब्लास्टोमेर। कहाँ ट्रांसफर करना है? FT फैलोपियन ट्यूब। किसके? सेम वुमन जो एग डोनर है या तो उसकी सरोगेट। इंट्रा यूट्राइन ट्रांसफर्स। अब अगर ब्लास्टोमेर उससे ज्यादा है मतलब इट इज ऑन द 32 सेल स्टेज, ज्यादा 32 मोरुला वाला 32, देयर इट इज टू बी ट्रांसफर्ड इनटू द यूट्रस। तो उसको हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? इंट्रायूट्राइन ट्रांसफर। सारू छे समझी के बतानो કે નથી? હા નથી કોણ બોલા વિધાઉટ ગતિ। The third is what? Intracytoplasmic sperm injection। इसमें क्या करते हो बच्चों लोग कि अंडर माइक्रोस्कोप the sperm is fused with the ovum. Okay, so that is called what? Intracytoplasmic sperm injections. When a sperm is directly fertilized with the ovum. फिर उसके बाद उसका क्या बनेगा? embryo, and then you can either do a ZIP or you can do an IUD. What the point? The second is what बच्चों लोग? In vivo fertilization. जहां पे होता है गिफ्ट gamete intrafallopian tube transfer, where there with me there is a female who is not able to produce an ovum, say for example, but her uterus is healthy. So what we'll do is we'll take an ovum and we will transfer it in her fallopian tube and allow fertilization to take place naturally. So what are we transferring? We are transferring a gamete. So that is what is called what? Gamete intrafallopian tube transfer, or it is called gift. Where the fertilization is going to take place naturally. So that is why it is called in vivo. Are you understand? Yes or no? Yes. So what is done in gift? There is a transfer of gamete into the fallopian tubes of a female who is not able to produce a ovum. I hope you got it. Artificial insemination. We have discussed this artificial insemination. I have given you an example of Yuvraj, bull, 9 crore wala. So in artificial insemination, what do we do? If the male has got a very low sperm count, okay, or if he suffers from ED, erectile dysfunction, we can use the semen and with the help of a pipette, we can transfer the semen either in the vagina, then it will be intravaginal transfer IV, or it will be uterus, that will be intrauterine insemination. Intrauterine insemination. That all will be considered as which fertilization? In vivo or in vitro? In vivo. Understood my point, everybody? Yes or no? Now see. Look at what the inside is saying. Where's the textbook I was carrying? Why you kept it there? Okay, it is now not closed. Okay. Though options are many. Options are many. All these techniques require extremely high precision handling by specialized professional and expensive instrumentation. बहुत महंगा होगा बच्चों IVF. And the chances of a successful IVF are also very low. Therefore, these facilities are present available only in very few centers in the country. What my point? Does Sangli have one IVF center? Yes. Obviously, their benefit is affordable to only a limited number of people. Emotional, religious, and social factors are also the deterrents they stop in the adoption of these methods. You understood? Emotional, like a man would be like, oh, but the sperm is not mine. But biologically the baby is not mine. The woman will be also on the same reason, of the same logic. एक emotional reason हो गया ना, emotional या social reason, लोग क्या कहेंगे? तो आज तो बता दिया ना लोग क्या कहेंगे? क्या कहेंगे? गरम पूरी भाजी लाना यही तेरे का देना. हाँ. A religion may not allow it. That would be the reason. Since the ultimate aim of all these procedures is to have children, ultimate aim क्या है इसका? कि हमको बेबी. तो फिर क्या बोलता हूँ मैं NCERT? In India, we have so many orphaned and poor, destitute children who would probably not survive till maturity until taken care of. बराबर है? Our laws permit legal adoption, and it is as yet one of the best methods for couple looking for parenthood. So if they give you option in NCERT, NEET exam, what is the best method for couples looking for parenthood? Give ZIF, AI or adoption. आया समझ में? तुमको भाषा समझ? Hey Gonzalez, सोप तो तुम बदल रहे हो? बदल रहे हो?